On December 26, 2024, China stunned the entire world by revealing not just one, but two sixth-generation fighter jets that nobody saw coming. While American defense officials were still debating budgets for the next-generation air dominance program, Chinese test pilots were already flying aircraft that looked like they came straight out of a science fiction movie. The larger of these two mystery fighters, dubbed the J-36, spans 75 feet in length with a wingspan that rivals a small bomber. But here's the kicker. It appeared overnight with zero leaked photos, zero intelligence warnings, and zero preparation from Western analysts. How does a nation develop and fly two revolutionary fighter jets in complete secrecy? And more importantly, what does this mean for American air superiority? Welcome to Jet Insight, where we break down the most important military aviation developments that shape our world. Just 3 months ago, Pakistan's Chinese-made fighter jets shot down not one, but two Indian aircraft in actual combat, including a French Rafale that costs over $80 million. The Chinese J-10 that achieved this victory was considered outdated compared to what China is flying today. But the real shock came when high-resolution images surfaced, showing China's J-20 stealth fighter powered by the WS-15 engine, the power plant that American intelligence said wouldn't be ready until 2030. Not only is it ready, it's already flying in twin-seat configurations, giving the J-20 more thrust than America's F-22 Raptor. Meanwhile, China's new J-35 stealth fighter has successfully completed electromagnetic catapult launches from their newest aircraft carrier, the Fujian. Within the next 5 years, China could field nearly 100 carrier-based stealth fighters, a capability that took America decades to develop. The numbers are staggering, the timeline is ahead of schedule, and the implications are reshaping military strategy across the Pacific. Today, we're diving deep into why China's fighter jets in 2025 are far more advanced than anyone thought possible. If you're as concerned about these developments as we are, type Proud Eagle in the comments to show your support for American air power. The sixth generation shock. Let's start with what happened on December 26, 2024, a date that will be remembered as a turning point in military aviation. While Americans were celebrating the holiday season, Chinese social media exploded with videos of two completely unknown aircraft taking their maiden flights. The first aircraft, now called the J-36, is absolutely massive. We're talking about a fighter that's 23 meters long. That's 75 feet of pure stealth technology. Its wingspan stretches 19 meters, giving it a wing area of around 200 square meters. To put this in perspective, that's larger than many bombers and makes it the biggest combat aircraft China has ever built. But size isn't everything. It's what this aircraft can do that's truly remarkable. The J-36 features a tailless design with a modified delta wing that reduces its radar signature to almost nothing. Intelligence analysts who've studied the leaked footage estimate it has 3 separate weapons bays, with the main bay measuring over 25 feet in length. That's enough space to carry weapons we can't even identify yet. What makes this even more incredible is the complete secrecy surrounding its development. American spy satellites monitor Chinese airfields constantly, yet somehow this aircraft was developed, built, and flown without a single leaked photograph until its official debut. This level of operational security is unprecedented in modern aviation development. The second aircraft, designated JXDS or J-50, is smaller but equally revolutionary. What caught everyone's attention were its unique swiveling wingtip control surfaces, a design feature that most aeronautical engineers thought was too complex for practical use. These movable wingtips help stabilize the aircraft, despite having no traditional tail, giving it maneuverability that defies conventional flight dynamics. Both aircraft appeared to be in advanced testing phases, not early prototypes. The flight test footage showed confident, controlled flights with extended landing gear, indicating these weren't just first flights, but aircraft that had already completed significant testing in secret. The timing of this revelation wasn't coincidental. December 26th marked Mao Zedong's birthday, sending a clear political message about China's technological achievements. But beyond the symbolism, these aircraft represent a quantum leap in Chinese aerospace capabilities that has defense analysts scrambling to reassess everything they thought they knew. The J-20's ultimate transformation. While the world was focused on those mysterious sixth-generation fighters, China quietly achieved another breakthrough that's equally significant. They finally got their J-20 stealth fighter running on the engines it was always meant to have. The WS-15 EME engine has been in development since the 1990s, and American intelligence consistently predicted it wouldn't be operational until at least 2030. They were wrong by half a decade. In March 2023, Aero Engine Corporation of China announced they had tackled all technical bottlenecks and begun serial production of the WS-15. Here's why this matters so much. The original J-20 flew with Russian AL-31 engines, then upgraded to Chinese WS-10 engines. Both were interim solutions while waiting for the WS-15. Think of it like putting a Toyota engine in a Ferrari. It works, but you're not getting the performance the design was capable of. The WS-15 changes everything. With a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than 10, it matches or exceeds the performance of the F-22's F-119 engines. Each WS-15 produces at least 4,000 pounds more thrust than the previous WS-10 engines. When you multiply that by 2 engines, you're looking at an extra 8,000 pounds of thrust, pushing an already formidable aircraft. But raw power is just the beginning. The WS-15 gives the J-20 true supercruise capability, the ability to fly faster than the speed of sound without using afterburners. This isn't just about speed, it's about range, fuel efficiency, and stealth. When an aircraft supercruises, it produces less heat and noise, making it much harder to detect and track. Recent imagery from September 2024 showed a J-20A prototype with distinctive serrated exhaust nozzles, the telltale sign of WS-15 installation. But the real breakthrough came in December 2024, when footage emerged of twin-seat J-20S variants flying with the new engines. The twin-seat configuration is particularly significant because it opens up entirely new mission profiles. The second crew member can manage advanced sensors, coordinate with drone swarms, or handle electronic warfare systems while the pilot focuses on flying. This transforms the J-20 from a pure fighter into a flying command center. Intelligence estimates now suggest China is producing J-20s at a rate that will exceed 300 aircraft within 5 years, all equipped with WS-15 engines. That's a formidable force by any standard, especially when you consider each aircraft now has performance characteristics that rival or exceed the F-22. Naval aviation revolution. But perhaps the most strategically significant development is happening at sea. China's J-35 stealth fighter has successfully completed its first electromagnetic catapult launch from the aircraft carrier Fujian, a milestone that puts China in an exclusive club of nations capable of operating stealth fighters from aircraft carriers. The Fujian itself represents a technological marvel. At 80,000 to 85,000 tons, it's China's largest and most advanced carrier, featuring 3 electromagnetic catapults that are reportedly 30% more efficient than those on America's Ford-class carriers. These catapults can launch heavier, more capable aircraft than the ski jump ramps used on China's older carriers. The J-35's successful catapult launch in late March 2025 wasn't just a test, it was a declaration of operational capability. Naval aviation experts who've analyzed the footage note the confident, controlled launch and recovery, indicating extensive prior testing and crew training. What makes this even more impressive is the rapid development timeline. The J-35 evolved from the FC-31 technology demonstrator, which first flew in 2012. In just over a decade, China has taken a prototype aircraft and developed it into both a land-based fighter for the Air Force and a fully navalized variant for carrier operations. The numbers are staggering when you project forward. The Fujian alone could accommodate up to 48 J-35 aircraft. China's 2 older carriers, Liaoning and Shandong, could each operate around 24 J-35s alongside electronic warfare variants. Combined, this gives China the potential to deploy nearly 100 carrier-based stealth fighters by 2030. To put this in perspective, the U.S. Navy currently operates about 260 F-35C Lightning II aircraft across all its carriers. China is rapidly approaching parity in carrier-based stealth fighter capability, starting from essentially zero just 5 years ago. The J-35 itself incorporates lessons learned from over a decade of stealth fighter development. It features advanced composite materials, sophisticated radar-absorbing coatings, and internal weapons bays designed to maintain stealth characteristics even when fully loaded. The naval variant includes folding wings, reinforced landing gear for carrier operations, and catapult launch bars, all the complex systems required for safe carrier operations. Combat-proven Chinese technology. While China's latest fighters grab headlines, their existing aircraft have already proven themselves in actual combat. In May 2025, Pakistani F-16s remained grounded while Chinese-made J-10 fighters took to the skies in a confrontation with India that shocked military observers worldwide. The engagement resulted in at least 2 Indian aircraft being shot down, including a French-made Rafale fighter that represents some of Europe's most advanced aviation technology. This wasn't a training exercise or a simulation, it was real combat between sophisticated 4th-generation fighters, and the Chinese-designed aircraft came out on top. What makes this victory particularly significant is the missile technology involved. The Chinese PL-15 air-to-air missile outranged and outperformed the European Meteor missile, giving Pakistani pilots a decisive advantage in beyond visual range combat. This engagement provided real-world validation of Chinese missile technology against Western systems. The J-10 that achieved this victory is considered outdated by current Chinese standards. It's powered by Russian engines and lacks the advanced sensors and stealth characteristics of China's newest fighters. Yet it still managed to defeat aircraft that cost significantly more and were considered technologically superior by Western analysts. This combat success has broader implications for military planners worldwide. It demonstrates that Chinese aviation technology has matured to the point where it can compete with and defeat Western systems in actual combat conditions. It's no longer theoretical, it's proven capability. Industrial capabilities and scale. Behind these impressive aircraft lies an industrial base that has transformed from a primarily licensed production operation to one of the world's most sophisticated aerospace manufacturing complexes. China's ability to simultaneously develop multiple advanced fighter programs while maintaining high production rates demonstrates industrial capabilities that few nations possess. The numbers tell the story. China now operates the largest aviation force in the Indo-Pacific region, and the 3rd largest globally, with over 3,150 aircraft, including about 2,400 combat aircraft. But it's not just about quantity. The pace of technological advancement is equally impressive. Consider that China is simultaneously producing J-20 stealth fighters, developing the J-35 in both land and naval variants, testing 6th-generation prototypes, and maintaining production of earlier generation aircraft for export customers. This level of parallel development requires enormous industrial resources and technical expertise. The engine development story is particularly telling. For decades, China struggled to develop reliable, high-performance jet engines, relying heavily on Russian imports. The successful development and production of the WS-15 engine represents a breakthrough that eliminates this dependency and opens the door for even more advanced designs. Chinese aerospace companies are also demonstrating remarkable speed in moving from prototype to production. The J-35A was publicly revealed at the Zhuhai Air Show in November 2024, and by May 2025, there were already reports of green-painted aircraft, indicating early production models. This rapid progression from demonstration to production suggests a mature development process and significant manufacturing capability. Export success and global impact. China's aviation success isn't limited to domestic programs. Their export achievements are reshaping the global fighter market and providing advanced capabilities to nations that previously couldn't access such technology. Pakistan's acquisition of the J-35A makes it the first export customer for China's latest stealth fighter. This isn't just a sale, it's a strategic partnership that includes pilot training, maintenance support, and technology transfer. Pakistani pilots are already training in China, with the first aircraft expected to arrive within 2 years. The strategic implications are significant. Pakistan will become the first nation outside of China to operate a 5th-generation stealth fighter, giving it a substantial advantage over regional competitors. This export success also validates Chinese aviation technology on the international market and provides crucial revenue for continued development. Egypt is reportedly in preliminary discussions for J-35 acquisition, and other nations are likely to follow. China is offering capabilities that are either unavailable from other suppliers or prohibitively expensive. The J-35's estimated cost of around $70 million makes it significantly cheaper than comparable Western aircraft. This export success creates a multiplier effect. Every international sale provides operational feedback that improves the aircraft, generates revenue for further development, and establishes China as a credible alternative to Western suppliers. It's a strategic approach that has transformed China from an importer of military technology to a major exporter. Advanced systems integration. What sets China's latest fighters apart isn't just their individual capabilities, but how they integrate with other systems to create a networked warfare environment. The J-35A, for example, is designed for what Chinese engineers call systems coordination, or multi-domain coordination. This means the aircraft doesn't just carry weapons, it serves as a node in a larger network. It can lock onto targets, share position data with surface-to-air missile systems, and even use its radar to guide other weapons to their targets. This transforms the fighter from an individual platform into part of a larger defensive and offensive system. The twin-seat J-20S takes this concept even further. The second crew member can manage drone swarms, coordinate with other aircraft, and handle electronic warfare systems, while the pilot focuses on flight operations. This represents a fundamental shift in how fighter aircraft are employed in modern warfare. Chinese military doctrine increasingly emphasizes intelligentized warfare that incorporates artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and advanced networking. Their latest fighters are designed from the ground up to operate in this environment, giving them capabilities that extend far beyond traditional air-to-air combat. Technological convergence. One of the most remarkable aspects of China's aviation progress is how quickly they've closed the technology gap with Western nations. In many areas, they've not just caught up, they've taken the lead. The electromagnetic catapult system on the Fujian reportedly offers 30% better efficiency than similar systems on American carriers. The WS-15 engine matches or exceeds the performance of the F-22's engines. The J-36 sixth-generation fighter appeared before any Western equivalent even entered flight testing. This convergence didn't happen by accident. China has invested heavily in aerospace education, recruited top talent from around the world, and focused on learning from every available source. They've also demonstrated remarkable patience, continuing development programs for decades until they achieved their goals. The stealth technology on Chinese fighters shows sophisticated understanding of radar-absorbing materials, shape optimization, and systems integration. While the exact capabilities remain classified, external analysis suggests performance levels that approach or match Western standards. What's particularly impressive is the integration of these technologies into operational aircraft. It's one thing to develop advanced technology in a laboratory. It's quite another to produce it at scale and integrate it into reliable, maintainable aircraft. China appears to have mastered both aspects. Strategic implications for American forces. For American military planners, these developments represent both a challenge and a wake-up call. The assumption of sustained air superiority that has characterized American military strategy since World War II can no longer be taken for granted. The sheer number of advanced aircraft China can field creates what military strategists call a quantity has a quality all its own problem. Even if individual American aircraft maintain some technological advantages, they could be overwhelmed by superior numbers of increasingly capable Chinese fighters. The geographic realities of the Pacific theater make this particularly challenging. Chinese aircraft operating from land bases have significant range and persistence advantages over carrier-based American aircraft. The addition of capable carrier-based fighters extends China's reach even further. American defense officials are taking these developments seriously. The 2024 China Military Power Report specifically highlighted China's aviation advances and their implications for regional stability. The report noted that these developments reflect China's broader military goals of intelligentized warfare, incorporating artificial intelligence, and advanced networking. The response involves accelerating American programs like the Next Generation Air Dominance Fighter, upgrading existing aircraft with new capabilities, and strengthening partnerships with allies in the region. However, the timeline for these responses extends well into the 2030s, while Chinese capabilities are advancing today. As we reach this critical point in our discussion, I want to extend a special invitation to our military veterans and defense enthusiasts in our audience. If you've served in the Air Force, Navy, Marines, or any branch of our armed forces, or if you're simply passionate about military aviation and defense technology, we'd love to have you join our community of military veterans and defense professionals. Your experience and insights help make our content better and our discussions more meaningful. Drop a comment below, letting us know about your service or your interest in military technology. We read every single one and truly value your perspective. Looking toward the future, the developments we've witnessed in 2025 are just the beginning. China's aerospace industry shows no signs of slowing down, and their ambitious timelines suggest even more impressive capabilities are in development. The sixth-generation fighters we saw in December represent prototypes that will likely enter service in the early 2030s. Their capabilities remain largely unknown, but the design features suggest aircraft optimized for long-range missions, stealth operations, and integration with unmanned systems. The success of the WS-15 engine program opens the door for even more advanced propulsion systems. Chinese engineers are reportedly working on variable cycle engines, thrust vectoring systems, and other advanced technologies that could power future aircraft. The carrier aviation program is expanding rapidly. China has announced plans for additional aircraft carriers, each likely to be equipped with electromagnetic catapults and designed to operate the J-35 and future aircraft. This represents a sustained commitment to projecting power beyond China's immediate region. Perhaps most significantly, the integration of artificial intelligence and networking capabilities into these aircraft suggests a future where manned and unmanned systems work together in ways we're only beginning to understand. The twin-seat J-20S and the networking capabilities of the J-35A are early examples of this trend. Global response and competition. China's aviation advances are spurring responses from military powers around the world. The United States is accelerating its next-generation air dominance program and upgrading existing aircraft with new capabilities. European nations are fast-tracking the global combat air program involving the UK, Italy, and Japan. Russia, despite economic challenges, continues developing advanced aircraft like the Su-57 and investing in next-generation technologies. India is pursuing indigenous fighter development while also acquiring advanced aircraft from multiple suppliers. This global competition is driving innovation at an unprecedented pace. Technologies that once took decades to develop are now advancing in years or even months. The competition between major powers is producing rapid advances in stealth technology, engine performance, sensors, and weapon systems. For smaller nations, this creates both opportunities and challenges. Advanced aircraft are becoming more available through exports, but the pace of technological change makes it difficult to maintain cutting-edge capabilities without major investments. Manufacturing and supply chain mastery. One aspect of China's success that often gets overlooked is their mastery of advanced manufacturing and supply chain management. Producing fifth and sixth generation fighters requires precision manufacturing, exotic materials, and complex assembly processes that few nations have mastered. China has demonstrated the ability to produce advanced composite materials, precision machined components, and sophisticated electronic systems at the scale required for large aircraft programs. This manufacturing capability is as important as the design technology itself. The supply chain integration is equally impressive. Modern fighters require components from thousands of suppliers, all coordinated with precision timing and quality control. China has built this capability domestically, reducing dependence on foreign suppliers and improving security for sensitive programs. This manufacturing prowess extends beyond aircraft to engines, weapons, and support systems. The successful production of the WS-15 engine, for example, required mastering single-crystal turbine blade manufacturing, advanced metallurgy, and precision assembly techniques that only a few nations possess. Economic and industrial impact. The success of China's aviation programs has broader economic implications beyond military capability. The aerospace industry is a major driver of technological innovation, high-value manufacturing, and export revenue. China's emergence as a credible competitor to Western aerospace companies is reshaping the global market. Traditional suppliers can no longer assume they'll win competitions based on technological superiority alone. Price, performance, and political considerations all play important roles. The export success of Chinese aircraft generates revenue that funds continued development. This creates a virtuous cycle, where export sales enable more advanced development, which creates more capable aircraft for export. Western companies face the challenge of competing against state-backed enterprises with different cost structures and strategic goals. The technological spillovers from military aviation programs benefit civilian aerospace as well. Advanced materials, manufacturing techniques, and design capabilities developed for fighter aircraft often find applications in commercial aviation, creating broader economic benefits. Regional security dynamics. China's aviation advances are fundamentally altering security dynamics across the Asia-Pacific region. Nations that previously enjoyed air superiority or technological advantages are now facing more capable opponents. Taiwan, in particular, faces a dramatically changed threat environment. The combination of sixth-generation fighters, advanced J-20s with WS-15 engines, and growing numbers of capable aircraft creates an air threat that is both more numerous and more sophisticated than anything previously faced. Japan and South Korea are responding by accelerating their own fighter programs and strengthening defense partnerships with the United States. Australia is investing heavily in long-range strike capabilities and advanced air defense systems. The addition of carrier-based stealth fighters extends China's reach throughout the region and beyond. Nations that previously felt secure behind geographic barriers now face potential threats from multiple directions. Lessons for Western defense. The rapid pace of China's aviation advances offers important lessons for Western defense establishments. Traditional development timelines and acquisition processes may need fundamental changes to remain competitive. The ability to develop multiple advanced programs simultaneously suggests that Western nations may need to rethink their approach to defense industrial policy. China's success appears to result from sustained investment, clear strategic direction, and integration between military requirements and industrial capabilities. The importance of domestic industrial capabilities has become clear. Nations that depend heavily on foreign suppliers for critical technologies may find themselves vulnerable to supply disruptions or technology transfer restrictions. Perhaps most importantly, the assumption that technological superiority ensures military advantage may need revision. China has demonstrated that sustained investment and focused development can overcome initial technological gaps surprisingly quickly. The path forward. As we look toward the future, several trends seem clear. The pace of technological advancement in military aviation will continue to accelerate, driven by great power competition and rapid advances in underlying technologies. China will likely continue expanding its aviation capabilities, both in terms of numbers and technological sophistication. The programs we've discussed represent the foundation for even more advanced capabilities in the coming decade. Western nations will need to respond with their own advanced programs, while also strengthening alliance relationships and industrial cooperation. The challenges facing any single nation are too large to address in isolation. The integration of artificial intelligence, networking, and unmanned systems will transform how aircraft are designed and employed. The fighters of 2035 will likely be very different from those of today, regardless of their country of origin. For those of us who follow military aviation, these are fascinating times. The rapid pace of development, the emergence of new technologies, and the global competition between major powers is producing innovations that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. China's fighter jets in 2025 have indeed proven more advanced than most people thought possible. From sixth-generation prototypes to operational stealth fighters with indigenous engines, China has demonstrated aerospace capabilities that rival or exceed those of any other nation. The implications extend far beyond technical specifications. These aircraft represent a shift in global military balance, a challenge to assumptions about technological leadership, and a demonstration of what sustained investment and strategic focus can achieve. As we continue to monitor these developments, one thing is certain: the golden age of military aviation is far from over. If anything, we're entering a new era of innovation and capability that will reshape military aviation for decades to come. The story of China's aviation advances is still being written, and each chapter seems more impressive than the last. For military aviation enthusiasts, defense professionals, and anyone concerned about global security, these developments demand our attention and careful analysis. What we've covered today represents just the beginning of this transformation. The aircraft flying today are prototypes for the systems that will dominate the skies of tomorrow. Understanding these developments isn't just about military technology. It's about understanding the future of global power and security. Conclusion: the evidence is overwhelming. China's fighter jets in 2025 are indeed more advanced than most people thought possible. From the shocking debut of sixth-generation prototypes to the operational success of the J-35 stealth fighter, China has demonstrated aerospace capabilities that are reshaping military aviation worldwide. The numbers speak for themselves. Sixth-generation fighters flying years ahead of schedule. The J-20 now powered by engines that match or exceed F-22 performance. Carrier-based stealth fighters successfully launching from electromagnetic catapults. Combat-proven missile technology defeating Western systems in actual combat. These aren't future promises or theoretical capabilities. They're operational realities that are changing the strategic balance today. China has emerged as a genuine peer competitor in military aviation, with the industrial base and technological expertise to continue advancing at an unprecedented pace. For our viewers who have served or currently serve in America's armed forces, these developments underscore the importance of the work you do and the sacrifices you make. The competition for technological superiority never ends, and America's military professionals remain the finest in the world. The story continues to unfold as we speak. New aircraft are being tested, advanced systems are entering production, and the boundaries of what's possible continue to expand. We'll be here to cover every development, analyze every implication, and help our audience understand what it all means. If this analysis has been valuable to you, we'd appreciate your support with a like and subscribe. Your engagement helps us continue bringing you the most important military aviation developments from around the world. Until next time, this has been Jet Insight, keeping you informed about the technologies that shape our world.